Hello, 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 I'm Scott from FudgeMuppet and I have a big announcement. There appears to be no skills in Fallout 4. Listen up and I'll tell you why I think this. First off here, when we get to the Pip-Boy, we can only see status, specials, and perks. Skills are no longer there as a selection in the menu. You will notice as we go through the special attributes, the descriptions have no mention of any skills being affected by them. Now, let's have a look at further evidence. First, we have the strength stat. Strength affects how much you can carry and how much melee damage you do, pretty much the same as the previous Fallout games. Next we have perception, which affects weapon accuracy and VATS, and now endurance, which affects total health and amount of action point drain from sprinting. There you have it people, there's a sprinting function confirmed for Fallout 4. Charisma affects your ability to persuade and helps your bartering, but here is the nail in the coffin. Intelligence affects the number of experience points earned. Now, there's no mention of skill points. Intelligence in previous games was a measure of how many skill points you had each time you leveled up. It doesn't look like skills exist at this point, but don't worry, there's more evidence proving this theory. Agility affects the number of action points you have like before, but now also affect your ability to sneak, which means your agility level is what affects your sneaking ability, because there's no sneak skill. Luck allows you to find better items and affects the recharge rate of critical hits. So does this mean that critical hits acts like a special bar and then when filled allows you to do critical hits, maybe in VATS or something? Additionally, it seems when you create your character, you don't have a flat rate of 5 in all your special skills. Instead, you start off with 1 in each, with 21 points to assign. If you spread the points equally, you could only get a max of 4 special points in each attribute. So does this mean there may be more opportunities or ways to increase your special stats? Also, it further gives the idea that there are no skills because a character would focus on leveling their specials. I don't know, but it doesn't look like we will see skills returning at this point. Want more evidence? Well, here you go. Looking at the customization of weaponry at the E3 demo, which is very extensive, we see that the player requires ranks of particular things, and our guess is that these particular things are ranks of perks. When building guns that would traditionally fall under the energy weapons category, the player appears to need ranks in science, but we don't have ranks of a skill, do we? It appears that science is now a perk. Furthermore, when customizing weapons that would traditionally fall under the guns category, we also see the player needs ranks in a perk called Gun Nut, which in previous games was used to add points to gun and repair, though there seems to be no skills anymore once again. Interestingly, this is seen to go all the way up to rank 4, so maybe there are a lot of ranks of perks. Repair seems to have been removed along with other skills and implemented into the perk system. It seems that perks will be the new thing that define your character, which we are actually okay with. I'm assuming it's to stop the max intelligence, max all your skills method of the previous games. So now intelligence may not always be the best way to go to make the best character. This method of leveling also forces you to pick your specialization rather than have all the skills at 100, because you only have a certain amount of levels and therefore perks to pick. In many ways, this is more realistic. Here's my thought on the topic. A plasma rifle and a combat rifle are essentially the same thing, and it's only aiming involved. It was kinda silly that they're different skills, energy weapons and guns. Now they would be determined by perception, which is just your accuracy, and now science is involved in creating energy weapons and Gun Nut in standard guns. It makes sense to me. This is a truly interesting topic, so tell us what you think on Twitter and the comments below. I'm Scott from FudgeMuppet, stay tuned and subscribe for more awesome Fallout 4 videos.